Hi everybody, this is a light language transmission about a syndrome, a very real syndrome called vanishing twin syndrome, and how this often forms the trauma base for twin flame relationships where a part of the twin flame dynamic is working through separation, a very, very big part, separation through all the multidimensional levels, abandonment, rejection, separation. These are all inherent in the relating at the 3D level, relationship dynamics that as twins and light workers we are embodying in order to heal and shift out of the collective, in order to raise the vibration of the planet to divine relationship. And a very, very deep, ingrained, multidimensional, multi-level trauma that often is in place with twin flames is the vanishing twin syndrome. So if you don't know what vanishing twin syndrome is, before ultrasound, which came in, I think, in the 80s, maybe the early 80s, we didn't see in the womb when babies were growing, and we didn't know that 20% of pregnancies were twins. I'm not 100% sure of that figure. It's a long time ago that I did all the research on this, so I don't know the exact figures, but it's around 1 in 5 pregnancies were twins. But they're not both supposed to survive. And in the early stages of pregnancy, within the first 3 weeks, one of the embryos can get absorbed by the other one. And then as that other one is growing, they can have bits of the other twin develop within their body. But spiritually and energetically and emotionally, there were 2 beings and 2 souls coming into the womb. There are many, many aspects of this at different levels, and at the spiritual level it can be that if you're a light worker and a high vibrational soul back in those days, the planet was much denser and much harder for high frequency light beings to embody, so we came in pairs, but we were not meant to come into the world in pairs. We're just supposed to help with that energetic arrival. However, the trauma of the separation and the disconnection when you've come all that way together has other effects that need to be worked through. And of course, this is all perfect because we are here to work through those. These are exactly what we're supposed to be transmuting and clearing in the collective to raise the vibration of the planet, which is what we're here for. So sometimes the 2 eggs continue to grow beyond the embryo and into, well, it's like within the first 3 months this can also happen, and you can still, at that point, you can still absorb. Again, I'm not sure exactly the timings, but in the embryo stage you can still absorb kind of quite big chunks, and it might be, you can actually be tested and find DNA of another person within your body in whichever parts of your body you absorbed. It may have been blood, it may have been nervous system, it may have been fat cells, and you can Google, there are lots of stories of, people even going to prison for not being the mother of the children that they were claiming money on, and DNA tests showed they weren't the mother. They had to have multiple DNA tests in different parts of their body and found that they had 2 people's DNA, and then discovered that they were a womb twin survivor or a vanished twin or a single twin. So this happens less and less now because, well, it still happens, but we're aware of it now because of ultrasound. But in the old days, that didn't happen. And of course, the other level of vanishing twin is when both twins have developed, and one has died, and then they've both been delivered. But that one has less psychological, still a lot of psychological, emotional and spiritual trauma, but less so because at least it was understood that there was a twin. In the first two cases, you don't even know there was a twin. So I've spent a lot of years doing work on vanishing twins. A lot of people coming into my healing practice have been womb twin survivors without knowing it. And it's been able to clear a lot of the levels of it, but it's one of those things that's really deeply ingrained on every level. And so I did this painting. This painting is called Twin Hearts, and you can see that it's two little babies growing in the womb, and their little separate amniotic sacs are actually wings, angel wings, because they're high vibrational angelic souls coming in to ascend the planet. The interesting thing here is that, because all my paintings are channeled, and I was trying to work on this situation in my own family. I am a vanished twin myself. Well, I am a single twin, and not that there's any proof of that, other than my dreams, my healing sessions, my knowing, and of course fitting all of the symptoms that have been discovered that womb twin survivors have, including specific things in the body, like often there's a curvature of the spine and sometimes little bits, little lumps under the skin. There's a whole lot of things. I'll see if I can put some links in the description box below. But so I was working on my own family, and I allow, well, my own situation, and I allow the paintings to create themselves through my hands. And in this case, one of the babies in there looks exactly like my niece. So and it started off looking like my brother. So this feels like it was actually my mother's womb. And both my brother and I were in the womb on separate occasions. So both of us have the energy of the vanished twin, because it occurred in my mum's womb. So, and he was born after me. So I was a vanished twin, and then that energy was in my mum's womb when he was conceived later on. And so the energy is also passed down through his DNA and his physiology. My mum is an identical twin, and there are identical twins through her genetics. So there's, what I'm trying to get to is that one side of the womb in this painting is my brother's side. And so that baby looked like my brother. And then as the painting continued to finish, and of course there was healing going into the painting the whole time I was painting it, so it began to clear the trauma from my brother at the level of him growing in the womb. And then it became his daughter. It just looks exactly like his daughter. So as my family came to visit while I was painting it, they're saying, "Oh, you're painting Jasmine." I'm like, yeah, but not on purpose, because it was so obviously her. And so then doing the painting as it progressed was healing her and her DNA. So my intention was to heal my family line of the vanishing twin syndrome. The other side is about me and my side of the womb. And that's something that is still developing, but the painting is finished. So what I want to do is bring the energy of this painting in, which is healing the family line of the vanishing twin syndrome. And I've recently just had it come up in my consciousness. I've been doing more healings on it, and it's been presenting itself again. And I feel like this is because in the twin flame dynamics, and as the planet's ascending just so rapidly now, it's having massive, big jumps up in frequency. The abandonment, the rejection, the being alone, the not being understood, the having this grief that you don't understand because it's coming from such a deep level, not feeling like you can connect to anybody because they just don't get it. They can't connect at that intimate level. If you realize that twins are connected, like people born as physical twins are connected in the most incredible way on multiple levels, right down to the physical level. So I remember my mum would have things like she'd say ow suddenly, and she'd felt a prick in her elbow, and it had turned out that her twin, who lived couple of hours away, had just had a blood test in that arm. They could feel each other's pregnancies, all of that kind of thing. So they're connected in this multi-dimensional way all the way through to the physical level. They developed in the womb together. Now that is very binding. So to develop in the womb with someone, have that psychic connection, that intimate connection, like the most intimate you could get with anybody, and then they're gone and you don't even know that they were there, but you feel the grief, you feel the pain. And this is very much what the twin flame connection is like. It's very similar to that. And when you're connecting in the 5D, there really is a 3D physical quantum particle situation that happens. So you are, once you've been merging, working through your stuff at the 3D level, you really are connected in the way that physical twins are connected. And that level of intimacy is not something you can have with a partner that you don't have that connection with. So if you're a vanished twin, you're actually, not a vanished twin, a womb twin survivor, then you actually find it really difficult in physical reality to meet someone that can connect with you at that intimate level that you know that you know is possible because you've experienced it. And sometimes you know that unconsciously, but you know it until you meet your twin flame. And you can meet soulmates, and there are intense levels of connection, but when you meet your twin flame, and you always have this knowing that they're there because you're set up to know that by coming in as a womb twin survivor. It sets it up in you that you know there's another person that you connect to like that. And when you meet them and they're not available or they're not seeing you, and they're likely to also have been a womb twin survivor, not necessarily, but likely, it makes you work through that separation, that abandonment. There can be so much anger at the twin for not coming into this life with you and making you do it on your own. You can be angry at yourself because you swallowed the twin. There is so many levels to it, and it'll be different for everyone, but some things are the same. So what I'm saying is the two are highly connected. I'm not saying every twin flame couple came in as womb twin survivors, but I'm saying there is a strong link, and it makes sense because of that deep connection. And if you consider that, about 1 in 5 pregnancies were twins, and not that many pregnancies, births were twins. So there is quite a high percentage of womb twin survivors carrying these traumas and being misunderstood, but knowing this deep connection, and having to work through the anger, the abandonment, the not being understood, the not fitting in relationship, because no one else can meet you at that level that you know you're here to be met at. So please do receive the codes from that painting by letting your eyes wander over it, being in an open-hearted, safe space. I'm going to bring a little bit of light language through, and it is a very big topic, so I will do an extended on Vimeo where we go into much more depth, and it's quite sacred. It's quite a sacred, vulnerable subject and situation. So it's something that I would like to do separately, just for those people that really feel that this might be their story, and that this might be the key to helping them shift the abandonment, rejection. So it will be longer. It'll be more intricate, more in depth. Though I do feel, if you really feel this is your situation, that you might want to actually get some personal one-on-one healing for it. But yeah, I will do an extended, and I'll link that below if anyone's interested. But it will be something, a bit more in depth and a bit more vulnerable. But for now, this is just for those that feel to work with this possible womb twin survivor scenario, and work through abandonment and rejection, and deep, intimate, feeling like they can't be met at a deep, intimate level. It's working with your hearts. Hasachakapataka sataka ho tokopotoko ho tokopotoko ho chukopoko hatakataka toko ho tokotokoto hahatako ho tokachka hasotokopataka hachkoko sotoko hatikopotoko hisachaka hasatakapataka kasa ho tokopotika pata hisahataka chako sotopoko sotaka toko satakapakatikiko ho tokopoko toko hahachaka sataka ho tokopotika taka ha katoko sotoko tokopotoko hahachaka sataka ho kotopoko choko sotaka hatikiko ko hahataka chaka hisataka hakatoko hokotoko hitahakataka kakasataka bakaka hatoko hahataka sakapatiki hatoko satakebo hihataka hasokotoko hahasakatoko kokotoko toko hatoko hahataka chaka sataka hatoko hokotoko sotoko hahakachiko hotikataka hotoko hatakachiko hotoko sataka hakakataka kakaka hahataka hataka hoko koko hahataka haka hatako hoko toko choko hoko topoko hahataka haka kakatoko koko potoko hahataka kaka hatoko koko toko hataka toko hahachaka potoko hoko koko hoko toko ho hahasa hahoto hoko toko ho hahataka ho choko sitaka hoko toko hahasaka hotoko choko hoko toko sataka hakakataka kakako hahasataka hoko choko toko sitaka hoko topitaka hahasaka hoko sotoko potoko hahasataka hakakato koko sotoko choko topoko hasataka bitoko koko batataka hahato hahasata hakto hoko toko choko ho hahasaka hakto hoko choko toko hataka hakakato koko hahataka hodiko choko si hahatko topoko hachko Hataka hachki taka hoko to boko hobutoka hoko koko. Hachaka hasa hatuko hoko chipoko ho. Hahasaka to hoko chiboko hoko toko. Hahasaka haka kochoko ho sikit boko hotipoko. He hataka betka hakto toko. Hahaha toko ho so ho toko boko koko. Hahasa hako toko hoko betaka choko hatikit koko. Hahapotoko bota takasataka hatuko kobotoko taka hatuko choko. Hakatoko boko toko takasabaka. Hahakatoko chokosa taka hakatoko sotoko boko. Hahakatoko huchuko bosoko toko hopotoko botoko boto. Hahasakata hakatoko toko hopotoko botoko hotoko choko. Hahasakataka kakataka hakatoko koko taka botoko. Hahasakataka hitoko hotaka bosoko taka hataka patakataka hakatoko koko toka. Nasakata hakakatako koko toko choboko sotaka katoko kokoto. Hahasakata bakachoko sotoko botoko. Hahatakatako koko toboko choko sotaka hatiki koko toboko. Hihataka toko choko hoko toko soko botoko tokataka. Hahasakatako koko toko choboso koko tokitaka kakata. Hahasakataka choko hoko toboko sotoko boko toko. Hahatoko choko sotaka pataka kakataka sotoko botoko choko. Hahatoko toko choko bosotoko hotobokoto. Hahatoko koso toko toko chikboko sotaka bataka toko. Hahasakataka chopoko sotaka bataka toko koso taka kakaka. Hahataka kakataka. Hahasakataka bakatoko. Hahataka kasakatoko koko to hatoko botoko koko. Hahasataka bataka toko choko botoko so. Hahataka choko so bataka katoko koko toko boko. Hahasataka choko bosoko toko kata bataka choko boko sataka bataka choko to bataka sakataka ka. Hakataka koko taka hatoko kotaka atakatoko ko. Atakataka hatoko koko to boko toko. Hahataka kataka satapaka toko koko to bataka choko toko satapaka. Hasakata pakataka choko sotoko bataki toko toko bitaka takata. Hasakataka toko so batoko toko chobo soko to boko so taka baka kaka. Hikataka koko so. Hahataka kasataka kakaso toko koko toko toko bataka choko to. Hakata sakabataka choko toko bataka tika kataka ko. Hakacha sakataka katoko koko so toko batoko chaka sataka bataka kakatoko. Hasataka katoko chobo sakataka bataka kasataka bataka to. Hitaka katoko koko toko so toko batoko toko to. Hasakataka katoko koko toko koko toko koko toko. Hasakataka koko toko toko choko taka sataka kataka kakatoko koko toko to. Hahasataka koko toko choko. Hahasataka katoko toko toko. Hakatoko so toko bataka chakata sataka taka batoko toko batika kataka kakataka. Hahataka choko so toko bitaka taka sataka koko bataka taka good tika bataka kataka. Hakata sakata bako toko bataka taka choko so toko botoko. Hasakataki toko chobo so toko bataka toko botoko chobo so toko botoko chobo so toko boko. Hataka kataka pataka kataka tapaka toko botoko toko chobo sataka bataka toko botoko kata. Hakacha sakata bataka toko boko. Hikataka sapataka botoko botoko chobo sakataka bataka toko popo. Hakacha sataka bataka botoko boso toko bitiko koto. Hakachasakataki toko toko poko toko kasataka kataka sakataka kasakataka toko choko koko hasachasakataka kataka taka toko hakachasakataka toko 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 bosotaka betoko hasachasakataka katoko toko toko hakachasakata paka toko sotoko betaka toko sotoko toko hakachasakataka toko bosotoko betaka po Akachabasataka bakat boko soto boko potoko toko betaka chasakata boko. Asachakataka satoko toko batasakataka boko choko boso taka bataka. Akachasakataka toko soto boko toko. Okotoko sotoko botoko toko botoko. Okotosokotaka kakataka sataka kakata. Akasataka kataka kosoko boko toko choko soko. Akachasaka katoko koso toko botoko choko soto bataka kakasata boko toko botoko to. Akachasapataka bataka toko botoko choko bosakata bakataka botoko choko bosaka bataka kaka. Asachasaka bataka katako koto betika choko basakata bataka choko sataka bataka botoko. Asachasaka bataka kataka sotoko koto botoko chosaka bataka takitoko hotoko hatoko hotoko chupaka sataka hataka koko soko asaka kataka kasaka koko botoko Skatakapataka, Asatakapata, Skatakako, Toko Chokobosoka, Takaka, Akasatakabataka, Satakapataka, Toko, Toko Chopoko, Sokopotoko, Akoko, Sokopotoko, Toko, Sotokopotoko, Chokasatapaka, Takasakataka, Asatakapaka, Sakatoko, Toko, Toko, Chokosotokopoko, Toko, Hosoko, Kosoko, Hoko, Toko, Hotoko, Hosoko, Koko, Toko, Poko, so there's been a huge amount of golden energy coming in through that, just underneath the words twin hearts there, and coming in through that side of the painting into the blonde baby there, and through the womb, lots of healing through the womb, the mother's womb, the lining of the womb, and the womb of the receiver. If you're a male, then there's an energetic womb, an etheric womb. And then also that last bit there was a real clearing of the solar plexus, like the tension held there at the diaphragm, the solar plexus, that's stopping your spirit from fully embodying in the physical because of this trauma that happened during development in the womb. So before you're even your chakras and physical vessel is fully developed. So clearing that trauma there, the shock from that diaphragm, from the throat, to enable your spirit to embody more fully in your body. I'm really seeing it coming together now. Like I'm seeing two white doves meeting and canoodling, and I'm seeing the sun and the moon coming together. So the two halves as such, but it's through the heart. It's been a really big heart healing around loss and grief of the most intimate being on multiple levels that you can come into. So I'm now seeing the unified Hara line, which is the unified relationship purpose, the unified soul purpose, come in like a pillar between the two. So the unity is anchoring, the unity is grounding. It's coming into physical reality. Akotoko ata oto. Akata oto soboko inakoto ato anokoso acho ata o. And I'm just seeing this huge big single love heart, enlightened and luminous and safe and happy and whole, with this key in it with two hearts as the little key ring ornaments on the key. Two hearts together as one, unlocking the unified heart. It's beautiful. Okay. That might be quite a big shift for some of you, quite a lot for you to embody. So please do really rest and allow yourself the space to integrate that, and drink a lot of water. And I will put a link to the extended. It might take, a few hours for that to appear. So just keep checking back. Blessings, everybody.